I used to live in these dorms over here. So like these are called little like U-shaped dorms.
Came to college as a very just depressed and sad student. Had a lot of suicidal thoughts and a lot of just struggle with self-image and just who I was and my identity and what that should be.
I was homeschooled from second grade on up, and coming into the dorms was just like a shock to my system in a lot of ways. I didn't have any kind of relationship that we were able to be there for each other.
I was really lacking trust in God. I really didn't know how faithful He was. I didn't know whether or not I could depend on Him. I was worried that there weren't going to be people there that were going to provide like healthy Christian community.
My parents divorced. When my mom remarried, she remarried this Christian guy, and he just had sins in his life. When I found out about that, they eventually sort of like divorced. It just left this bitter taste of Christianity.
I came to college trying to have as much fun as possible. I knew that there was other Christians on campus, but I would do whatever I could to ignore thoughts or actions that had to do with Christianity, because I honestly was afraid that if it was real, boy, I was in big trouble.
I actually saw an info table with Master Plan and was invited to a welcome back barbecue.
Got connected with the staff. I kind of avoided them for a while, trying to dodge just being plugged into church or any really Christian thing.
And he invited me to a Bible study, which I went to kind of reluctantly, and he invited me to meet with them in the cafeteria to talk, and I met with them kind of reluctantly.
They were the very first people that I talked to, the very first people that I came in contact with on campus.
So eventually, I meet up with him, and he shares with me this question, like, if you were to die right now, where would you go?
After coming through different discipleship and really growing in Christ through college, the depression was no longer existent. It wasn't there at all because God allowed me to have freedom. I began to turn to Him and not to my own selfish images. I was able to turn to the true answer to Christ.
I remember looking around and talking to students, and it really being the first time that I was able to see other guys and girls my own age that were like on fire for God.
I met this girl, she was my suite mate, and she wasn't a Christian. But through working with Master Plan, through my discipleship times, through learning how to really pray for people, I had developed these tools that I was able to sharpen. By the end of the second semester, we were sitting on my bed and she was accepting Jesus into her heart.
Everything in my life that I trusted God with, He replaced with something else that was just far better.
In 2018, I came to the Rocky Mountain Winter Conference here at Three Trails Ranch, and it was just such an experience to like be in unity with all these other believers. It just healed that idea of how Christians were just hypocrites, that they're human just like me and we all make mistakes. And just knowing that truth really encouraged my faith.
This is why I'm on staff today, and I think why all Master Plan staff members serve is they know there's students like me on campus that are looking for life in the wrong places.
They come from backgrounds that are depressed and suicidal or dealing with different struggles or addictions, and having someone who listens but also points them back to the true source of wisdom and knowledge.
I love seeing students grow in their confidence, being able to share the gospel with others, being able to lead Bible studies and lead prayer groups.
It's just so fun to see students who are walking the same places we've been and getting to invest in them the same way that we were, and knowing that they come from similar backgrounds and just being able to help them understand God's character and God's grace and His love for them.